playing a little part in this scenario going on in the country. Obviously, I've made a few people mad. I'm the only one that can unite Democrats and Republicans, because I seem to be opposed by both.
Well, I guess Roy Moore thinks it's a laughing matter what is taking place yesterday, that he was speaking at the God Save America Revival Conference at a Baptist church in Alabama. Of course, the continuous calls for him to step aside in the race to become Alabama's next U.S. Senator over sexual misconduct allegations with a teen in the 1970s. Here's Speaker Paul Ryan.
He should step aside. Number one, these allegations are credible. Number two, he should, if he cares about the values and the people he claims to care about, then he should step aside.
Now, of course, more and more folks are saying he should do so. He claims he's innocent. The most recent victim claims she was a 16-year-old waitress when Moore offered her a ride home and pressured her into having sex. She even showed where he signed her yearbook, calling her beautiful. Just a few days before the incident, Moore denies that allegation as well. Now his lawyers say the signature is fraudulent.
No, it's not his signature. He did not sign that yearbook, and so we're doing our best to try to have that documented and verified.
Really? Okay. Now, of course, also what has been going on here, as again, you see the Republican re-election committee. They actually are withdrawing their staff. RNC is actually withdrawing their staff from Alabama, campaigning on his behalf, folks on the ground. Some folks are even saying that Breitbart, they're even questioning whether or not they're going to continue backing him. They sent 2 reporters to Alabama to try to dig up dirt on the accusers, saying that they also want to be, say, well, their story's not correct. Now, I'm going to pull up a video in a moment, y'all. So Sean Hannity, of course, they've been going after his advertisers big time, trying to get them to drop. A number of his advertisers have dropped because of his defense of Roy Moore. Shelley, go to my iPad. This is Sean Hannity last night.
Tonight, between this interview that I did and the inconsistent answers, between him saying, I never knew this girl, and then that yearbook comes out. For me, the judge has 24 hours. You must immediately and fully come up with a satisfactory explanation for your inconsistencies that I just showed. You must remove any doubt. If you can't do this, then Judge Moore needs to get out of this race. This country has way too many issues and problems. The American people deserve 100% truth and honesty. We need...
This is why Sean Hannity, all of a sudden, is you got 24 hours to come up. Money. Advertisers are dropping him immediately. It's now up to 6 advertisers, including Volvo. See, that's what happens when you defend a pedophile, because you put your party over your faith. You so-called Christian Sean Hannity, you put partisanship above that. All you care about is GOP and not GOD. Let's go to my panel. So, bottom line here, Republicans are running away as fast as they can from Roy Moore, Liz. But here's the deal. In Alabama, we got these fake evangelicals, okay, who they would rather vote for a pedophile than vote for a Democrat.
That's a bold statement. I don't know about the authenticity of the evangelicals, but certainly...
The polls don't. The most recent poll shows that 58% of evangelicals in Alabama say they would still vote for Roy Moore. 37% of folks in Alabama say they would vote for Roy Moore, especially in light of the allegations. You have, and look, out of the national evangelicals, the most Franklin Graham has said is, we will pray for Roy Moore and his family. Nothing about the victims. The only national evangelical who has said anything that's saying if the allegations are true, he should step down is Tony Perkins from the Family Research Council, and also Moore, a former SBC leader. That's it. The rest of these white conservative evangelicals have been quiet, have said nothing, and in Alabama, they are quoted as saying, we will rather vote for him who is allegedly a pedophile, than a Democrat.
I hear what you're saying. In no stretch of the imagination am I going to sit here and try to defend people who are defending Roy Moore. The age of consent in Alabama is 16. The most recent victim was 14 at the time. That's the one who has the yearbook. That's the one who they claim that Roy Moore didn't know. Yes, the Republicans are walking away, as they should. But my point is that there are some people who are out there saying, listen, these are allegations, and we should not cast judgment against them. I do not agree with that. But there are people who are saying, listen, when Bill Clinton had these allegations, they're using that as an example. I think it pales in comparison. I think our country has moved beyond this. You know, we need to prove when people come out about these sexual allegations before they condemn people. We should start to question first and then let the law take its place. And in this specific scenario, as a candidate, he should step aside. And Mitch McConnell is looking to get Jeff Sessions to be a write-in.
So we have 3 newspapers in Alabama that have blasted Roy Moore, saying he should step down. Again, if you look at the data, the most recent poll, white conservative evangelicals in Alabama are still standing with Roy Moore.
And there is a race issue that we're not discussing here. In most parts of the country, about 55% of white folks vote Republican. In Alabama, it's like 85 or 90%, and most black folks vote Democratic. Racial polarization and party polarization are basically synonymous in Alabama. And so in Alabama, you got a scenario where you've got a lot of white Republicans who are saying, we'd rather vote for a child molester than a Democrat, than a white Democrat.
The Democrat is white, so where's the race issue on that?
The race issue is who they vote for.
Party, but race, you got two white men.
Party and race are intertwined in Alabama.
I got a quote for you. Shelley, go to my iPad. This is a story on AL.com, headline, Alabama Baptists rattled by accusations against Roy Moore. When you go down in this story, so I'm going to read this quote for you, and I want you to respond. This is Reverend John Killian, director of the Fayette County Baptist Association. They've hosted Moore twice. He has denied it, and I take him at his word. I believe him. That's not the way he's lived his life for the last 25 years. It's been reputable and respectable. He's a godly man, a brilliant man. I know Roy Moore. He has a great relationship with his wife, Kayla. That's not the guy that's being portrayed out there now. I believe he's a good man. I don't believe the allegations have been proven. When a brother in Christ speaks, you give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, that's the perfect quote, Roland, and that's their fig leaf. What they're arguing, which is why he was at the church last night, they're arguing that the Christian narrative requires forgiveness. Remember, Roy Moore is the one who said, "I'm going to put the 10 Commandments there."
He hasn't apologized.
Well, no, but here's the thing.
He doesn't admit
we can't miss the bigger picture. The Republican Party is a cooked stew of this mess. You can't.
That's not true.
No, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. You can't pick out the spices now that you don't like. Remember,
they didn't know.
Hold on.
No one knew.
Excise pedophilia out for a minute.
Okay.
Luther Strange on policy is as bad, worse than Roy Moore. Now they're talking about perhaps the fix could be switch out Jeff Sessions and return him to his Senate seat, which would solve Trump's problem. Mitch McConnell, the Republican Party cooked this stew.
Here's the deal.
Pick out cherries like,
here's the deal right here. I'm going to read this quote. Because this right here, I think, speaks to exactly what the issue is in the Republican Party. Quote, I'm skeptical of everything that goes on in politics, says the Reverend Joe Godfrey, a former Alabama State Convention president who is now in charge of lobbying for Baptists as executive director of the Alabama Citizens Action Program. I don't know what to believe. The dilemma is Christians and pastors are torn. We don't know if the accusations are true. I hope we'll know by December 12th. Democratic Senate candidate Doug Jones is pro-abortion. That's weighing heavily on everybody. This is the bottom line for Republicans. They don't care if he was messing with a 14-year-old.
That's right.
In fact, they're like, whatever. All they care about
is winning.
Right. It's about power.
That's right.
Spencer, it is about, Doug Jones on the issue of abortion.
That's right.
On the issue of same-sex marriage. That's all they care about. They do not care.
Yeah.
But to the extent that's the same standard that was set in terms of the election of President Trump.
Same thing.
When we talk about grabbing by the,
That's what I'm saying.
et cetera. This notion of it's about these judicial appointments and about ideology over
That's all.
the candidates.
And the women in Alabama who are white and conservative, who are going to vote for Roy Moore,
That's right.
they wouldn't let their 14-year-old daughter be in his presence.
No.
But they're still going to vote for him?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't
of
think
course
so.
they are.
I don't
They
think-
said he could shoot Obama. But this is the thing. Yesterday,
Someone actually said,
that.
someone actually said Roy Moore could kill Obama.
That's right.
And we are still
We'll
voting
still
for him.
vote for him. Listen, Liz, to yesterday.
That is not
yesterday,
reflective of the
GOP
Republican Party. That's some backwards
look.
people.
Hold on, stop.
That is,
Liz,
I hear, I
it
believe
is
what you
reflective
said.
of the Republican Party.
That's right.
When your president said,
Yes.
I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and I would not lose a supporter.
That's right.
And they still voted for him.
Absolutely, but he didn't say he was going to take out a former president.
And
He
53%
didn't
of
say he was gonna
women
do that.
voted for him, despite all the things we heard he say. He said.
What Trump said was a joke. What that person said in Alabama is disgusting, and probably
don't
they believed
lose
it to be
sight
true.
of the moving parts. The Republicans reintroduced trying to repeal Affordable Care Act requirement yesterday. Paul Ryan wants those votes. Mitch McConnell wants those votes. They got 180 federal judges that they're trying to switch out right now that will be retired.
And very simple.
That's right.
If Jones wins,
Come on, brother.
Moore loses,
only have one.
they are down to a single vote majority in the Senate. And so that is the real game here. That's what they're playing.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.